All right, everyone, how's everybody doing out there? Welcome to Off the Real Sports Network. It's your host. I make the music. I debate. Well, I'm debating myself, maybe unless I have someone else on here. But don't worry about all that. All right? Steven Valdes. Basically, we talk about sports, mainly just football and basketball, a little off the rails. I might curse a little bit. Sometimes I might even go on like a little emotional rant, depending on if it's about my teams, the Dallas Cowboys, the Miami Heat, the Miami Dolphins. A lot of them are disappointing, but the Miami Heat looking right. Believe that. All right, well, I've been doing shit the whole entire day. I just finished doing homework. I was doing it even on my break at work. So, yeah. And I don't know if you can see it. That's tape. It's because I'm broke. So you should like subscribe. That'd be nice. Or like leave a comment, like it. It'll help a lot. All right, you guys, let's get into the first topic of the day. We're going to go ahead and talk about Zion Williamson's debut. It was 2 days ago. I'm a little late. Cut me some slack. Nobody expects Zion to get 4 threes a game and to get them all 100%. That's just not going to happen. He's going to continue shooting the ball. He's probably going to end the season at around maybe 30%. 30% is okay for a rookie season. If you really have a problem with that, I mean, like, that's pretty crazy. Like, you're honestly not watching these games and like really like digesting what is actually going down in the game. Because if you think that that's really what's going to happen every week, you're going to be disappointed, and then that's when you're going to be calling him a bust. Because he can still average maybe 18 and 12. I can see an 18 and 12 rookie season, which would be crazy. It'd be fire. But I can see maybe 18 and 12. I don't know about the 12. 12 is more unlikely than the 18 points. The 12 rebounds. I can see him getting 3 to 4 assists a game. In the game, you saw him trying to pass the ball early, but he was forcing it a little bit, and he's not the greatest passer, but he can take the ball down court after grabbing the defensive rebound, and he can push the pace, along with Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday. He's going to get traded to the Miami Heat. And then you have Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, who had a really off game versus the Spurs. They probably would have won if Brandon Ingram wouldn't have shot. I think it was 6 for 24, 6 for 22, whichever the one it is. One thing that was really noticeable about Zion was that he was limping every chance he got, basically. Every time he walked off the court or even just walked even on the court, he was limping, he was gimping around. He didn't look like he was really into it, but he also looked like he was just nursing it because he's been used to nursing it this whole entire time. This is honestly like the best situation I could think of for Zion right now, mainly because, like I said before, he pushes the pace along with everybody else, but everybody's willing to pass. Now, for everybody who was complaining about the minutes restriction, you can't complain because you have to understand, although this would have been real cool, if he would have got hurt, everybody complaining would have been the same people dogging the New Orleans Pelicans if he would have got hurt. It's just the way it is. You guys are looking hindsight 2020, but you have to understand that they said before the game, we are going to not let him play that much. He already went above that because he was waving off the sub. He didn't let them sub him out. Zion finished with 22 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 72% from the field, 50% from the free throw line though. Moving on to the next segment. Now this one, you have a 500 record. I mean, that's literally what 50-50 is. You have a 500 record. You can win the game or you can lose the game. If you were to go out there in your whatever prime in a regular season game right now, in your prime, like back then when you were going to the playoffs in a regular season game, because you never really did that good in the regular season, but a regular season game, you would have a 50% chance of winning. I honestly believe it's good that Eli Manning retired on his own time, because if you retired too early before they drafted Daniel Jones, then he would have been thinking he had more in the tank, or he would have even went to another team. I'm sure there's another team that would have taken Eli Manning even as a bench quarterback, but he's not trying to do that anymore. I think he wanted to play for the New York Giants. It didn't work out for him no more, and then he's done. He had all those games without missing a start. The only time it stopped was when Ben McAdoo started Geno Smith over him, which was beyond a terrible decision. As for the Hall of Fame question, I would call Eli Manning a Hall of Famer. If you watch those playoffs runs, the ones of the first one when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and the second one when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, I lean either way, and I'm going to say that a couple times as well. It's about Eli Manning retiring. Eli, You're a very 50-50 quarterback. Look at the teams they beat in 13-3, 15-1, 18-0. Like, they're really beating dominant teams and they're crushing their season. Like, it was not only because of the defensive line. Eli Manning had something to do about it. They were scoring. I remember versus the San Francisco 49ers, Eli Manning got dogged. The 49ers with their front line, I don't know if I can remember everybody on there, but they had Navarro Bowman. That's not a defensive lineman, it's a linebacker. But regardless, they had Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis. Damn. I can't even remember anybody else. They had Smith. They had the Smith, not the Smith brothers, but I think it was Jason Smith and Alden Smith. They had them too. They was balling, especially back then before all the drugs and all the illegal shit started going on. It was really, it was really looking nice for the 49ers. And now that we're looking at it, they're in the Super Bowl. Not really a 49ers fan. Kind of got off topic. You see how I go on like a little rant there? Just looking at my notes here, he beat the Bucks in 2007, which were 9-7, the Cowboys 13-3, Packers 13-3, and then the Patriots, which were 18-0. And in 2011, they finished 9-7. They beat the Falcons, which were 10-6, the Packers, which were 15-1, and then the 49ers. They beat Eli to a pulp, like I said. They were 13-3 in that season, and that game was honestly one of the better games I've ever watched. I remember being at Applebee's just going crazy. I wanted the Giants to win, even though I'm a Cowboys fan, because I really don't like the 49ers. I never really had hate for the Giants, especially the second time around, because I knew that if they went against the Patriots, Eli would do his thing again. And they went against the Patriots again, which were, 13-3. At the end of all that, Eli Manning in my eyes should be a Hall of Famer. You have his numbers here. Let me see what his numbers exactly were. He had a 60% completion rate. He had 57,000 yards, 365 touchdowns, and 245 interceptions. He had 2 Super Bowls, and you already heard about the runs. They were all underdog away runs. I think you have to give it to him based off of that. But Eli Manning, Hall of Fame. I'm not a voter, but you got my vote in my heart. And now we're moving on to the final topic of the day, which is a Super Bowl matchup. The 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and throw out my prediction. I'm going to say that the Chiefs are going to lose 38-41. I think that the front line of the 49ers are going to make one more play than the Chiefs could have allowed them to. I believe Patrick Mahomes will stay perfect. I don't believe he will throw a pick. I believe he will fumble, though. Mainly just due to the fact that they have so many big dudes. The Chiefs' offensive line can really pass block. But that front line of the 49ers, again, the 49ers defense, I'm talking about them again. They have Mike Shanahan as the coach. And like I said, I am not a 49ers fan. So, I'm not just here, just gassing them up. I'm really not. I do not like them. They're just that good. I got to give them the credit. The only way the 49ers can lose is if, one, Patrick Mahomes goes off. They allow the speedy receivers to do their thing. Their defense doesn't exactly get to pat. And Jimmy Garoppolo gives the ball up more than one time. He's going to give it up one time, period. Jimmy Garoppolo's thrown a pick in 11 of his 16 games this season. He's also fumbled 10 times this season. And he also has multiple fumble games this season. At the end of it, Jimmy Garoppolo had a good season, not a great season. 27 touchdowns, I want to say. I might be totally off. And then 13 interceptions. As long as the 49ers run the football, they don't have to have Raheem Mostert run for 220 yards again. As long as they give the ball to their collection of backs, they feed the ball to George Kittle in some short routes, let him get into open space, give some of these speedy receivers that even the 49ers have themselves some room. And I know Mike Shanahan is going to do his thing. And their defense is stellar. If you want me to use a word, shit, it's stellar. But then you have the Chiefs with Eric Bellamy. I think that's how you say his last name, Bellamy. Bill Bellamy. Funny, I'm not Bill Bellamy. They don't. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Damian Williams. I think Damian Williams is healthy, and I believe Chris Jones is back. If Chris Jones is playing in the Super Bowl, that's a big X factor, and they really need him. 49ers win 41-38. All right, you guys, that's going to be all for Off the Rails Sports Network today. Thank you guys for checking in. Honestly, I appreciate it all. If I looked tired today or if I wasn't energetic enough, don't worry. I'm going to have a little bit more energy next time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Honestly, right now, chill out. Right now, stop. Just hit the red button. Hit subscribe. Just do it. It'll help a lot. Trust me. Tape.
Bitches keep playing, yeah, niggas keep playing. The gun in the safe, you niggas ain't safe, yeah, so stop all that playing. Yeah, bitches keep playing, yeah, niggas keep playing. You bitches ain't safe, I ride in a Wraith, yeah, so stop all that playing. You ain't safe, find a place, flee to Jake's, meditate.